to questions to make sure that we cover everything. Okay, one moment. Okay, I have the wonderful task of starting with that list, which would mean you would like to have some cash on hand. You would also consider thinking about having silver. For those that have been in the class, you're aware of the importance of having silver, which could be converted into money. For the sake of this Zoom, I'm going to give you great suggestions that I have of great places to hide certain things. So with that being said, these are wonderful examples of places to hide your cash. Okay? Because you don't want to keep everything out in the open. Okay? So you have your cash, which you want to put in a great hiding place. You want to have silver. You do not want to keep all of those things together. Okay? We found it very important. We've been talking about having this. A lot of the things that I'm going to share, you're going to find at Walmart. Or you can find it anywhere. I want to say this real quick before I get into the remainder of the list. I would encourage everybody that's sitting in on the Zoom today, please go through your home and declutter. A lot of the things that we're talking about, you're going to be able to find them in your home already. So I spent time going through, I found a lot of things that I thought I needed to buy, and I ended up saving a lot of money. So please, please, please take some time to go through those things you've been needing to go through, want to go through, but you just didn't. So let's go back to the list. Let's make sure you have a mark in the event that something happens and you lose any kind of connection you want to be able to get around. With that, I'm going to give you anything from Walmart. But guys, the camping section of Walmart is amazing. So here is a compass / whistle / thermometer. Okay. Everybody needs to make sure you have a nice pocket knife on you. The next thing I have would be your waterproof bag. So you're going to see two different bags today. Erica has her bags and I have mine, but we have the same things, but they're a little different because we purchased at different times. So in this particular bag, I would like for you to have these.
Hey, Audra, I don't know if I'm the only one, but can't hear anything you're saying.
Say again?
We can't hear you. You're on mute.
Okay. Thank you.
We hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
So did you hear anything I shared earlier?
We missed about the last minute and a half.
Okay, I'll go.
when you started talking about the bag and the fact that you and Erica had different
Okay.
bags and what you
Great
had.
hiding place for the money. You got that. Got some silver. You got the maps and the compass. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Compass. On the documents, we're suggesting copies of IDs, socials, and if you have a passport, keep that with you, the original with you. All of that will go in the waterproof bag. Have change clothes, shoes. I always make sure I have extra bags, empty bags, because you just never know. One of the things we talked about as well, for those who are taking medicines, please keep those empty medicine containers. So you have your regular medicines, your Advil, but in those empty bottles, it's a great way to put cotton balls with alcohol, cotton balls with peroxide, anything that you normally would have to have a large bottle for. I also suggest having samples from the hotels. Keep those samples for your shampoo, soap, lotion, those kind of things. In that bag, it's important to make sure that you have a booklet that has all of your phone numbers, and you can put them in the same a booklet with your usernames, passwords, all your sign-ons. So whenever you get to a position to check your device, your accounts, you can do that. What am I missing? That's yours. Okay, at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Erica. And Erica will show you the items that are in her first aid kit. Now keep in mind, I'm going to show you my stuff as well as hers at the end, because they're the same, but a little different. But as long as you have it, that's what we need you guys to have. Weekly medicine, bottle medicine. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Erica Lloyd, and I'm going to be doing the second half of this presentation.
We can't hear you, Erica.
Can't hear you.
Okay, is that better?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try to speak a little louder. So some of the things that we are looking at, if you have to pick up and go, one of the first things you want to keep in mind is communication. Because if some reason, if cell towers go down, satellites are not connecting, then you're going to need a way to communicate with your family. Because you may be in different vehicles, everybody may be going in different directions. Just depends on whatever the situation is at the time. So one thing you want to consider are walkie-talkies. These particular ones are supposed to have a range of about 35 miles. We recently discovered that there is a walkie-talkie that will go up to 5,000 kilometers, which is about 3,000 and something miles. So that's literally across the country. I have ordered one. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks according to when I filled out the order form. So it has not come in yet. And we will be testing those out this summer after they come in, because I will be traveling to the East Coast. And someone else also ordered that walkie-talkie. So we're going to try to test those out to see if they have the advertised range. The other thing you want to consider if you have to pack up and go is one of these. This is a portable charger. This is what's going to keep your phones charged, your tablets charged, anything that you can charge with the USB, you can use this. I like this particular charger because this has solar panels. If for some reason without electricity, you know, just sit beside the sun and charge. It also has flashlights. It has a flashlight on it, so if you need a flashlight, you can do that. But what I really like about this particular one is this one is a QI charger. So with this one, you don't need your phone cables or depending on what type of phone you have. If you have a QI charged phone or a phone that's able to use a QI charge, you can use this. You just sit your phone on top of it and it'll charge. You don't need cables. For those that don't have a QI charge cable phone, you just use your cables and you can plug it into the USB slots here. And that way you can keep your portable items charged. The next thing is, this is my weather radio. It doesn't use, I think it does use batteries. It also has a flashlight, but in case I need to power it, it also has cellular, but in case I need a quick charge, it also has a crank on it so that I can also crank it up. So wherever you go, you definitely need a radio to keep you informed. The other thing you're going to need, if you go out and you happen to need fire or means of cooking or a means to do a fire pit or whatever it is you're using that you may need fire, this is a pack of waterproof matches. So you can light these even when it's raining. So that's something else you want to consider having. Is they also make matches that are also windproof as well as waterproof. So if you happen to be trying to light in a windstorm or when the breeze is blowing, you'll still be able to light these types of matches. The other thing you want to consider maybe is having a multi-use tool. This has a screwdriver, it has a knife, it has a lot of different tools that you can use for whatever your needs may be. Also has a little screwdriver here. This one is probably doesn't have as many tools as a Leatherman. This is one I got for free from some giveaway. But they also, you know, if anybody's familiar with Leatherman, they make these and they have a number of different tools on it that you can use. What you always want to carry with you, regardless of where you go, are Ziploc bags. These Ziploc bags, you put anything in them to keep them dry, because you never know where you might go and you're caught in a rainstorm or have to cross a lake or river or something, and something gets knocked overboard or you have to swim. You want to make sure you keep certain things dry. So you always want to keep some Ziploc bags with you. And then finally, we're going to talk about first aid. I keep a first aid kit in my car, a small one. I also have one in my house. But this particular first aid items, I keep these in my portable first aid kit. When I started collecting items to go in my first aid kit, I originally had this green box here. This is one I picked up at an Army surplus store. And after I started collecting stuff, I realized that all of this stuff was not going to fit. So I bought this red bag that I'm going to put, tag it as a first aid. And that's where most of this stuff currently sits. So one of the things that you always want to make sure of, no matter where you go, that you will be able to have access to clean water. So the first thing here is going to be a water filtration bag. So if you happen to be in a lake or camping and you need access to clean water, you just put the water in here. It has a filtration system here. And then at the end, it has a spout that you can either fill a canteen or a cup or whatever it is you're trying to do. They also make these in larger sizes so that you can hang them up to take showers with. But this one is just for drinking water. The other thing you want to have besides these are water purification tablets. So if you happen to be traveling or you don't have access to somewhat clean water and you don't have a water filtration system, you can have those water purification tablets to purify the water so you don't get sick. So the other thing in this first aid kit is antibacterial wipes. You have a hot and cold pack. Also have here a pack of alcohol preps. One of the other things you can do is if you have old medicine bottles, you can take one of those, put some alcohol pads in it, or not pads, what do you call them? Cotton balls. Put cotton balls in it, pour some alcohol over it and seal it up, and that way you'll have access to alcohol rubs or wipes. I bought 2 thermometers. This one is fast, where you just use it to shoot for temperature. And then I also bought a smaller thermometer for the little ones, in case you have small children or you need more than one, access to more than one. We also have heating pads or wraps. And so if you need access to heat for itch, in case you get bit by something, hand sanitizer. And also this is an eye wash. So if you happen to get something in your eyes, you usually want to rinse with water, and this is an eye wash. Here we have some powder, some iodine, antiseptic, and then this is a hurt-free first aid antiseptic. I also have 2 different sizes of ACE bandages. These are the ones that use the clip. And then 2 different size bandages over here. These are self-adhesive. One of the things that I really like is this is a flashlight waterproof lighter. The reason why I like this more so is because with this is rechargeable. And I have my handy dandy here portable charger. So if I need to use this, I can always recharge this. It's also a flashlight. You can open it up. If you can see that it has little prongs on the end, and that's where you're gonna light whatever it is you're trying to light, kindling, piece of paper. And then right over here to the side here is the port where you would plug in your cable to recharge it. And so basically all you're doing is, I'm not sure if you can see that, but all you're doing is pressing the button here and you get a spark. These are fairly expensive. I think I paid $30 for this. So just be mindful of the cost on these. And then of course you have your flashlight on the end. And then the last thing we're going to talk about as far as first aid are the other things you need in your first aid kit. So you have gauze, you have padding, and then something everyone wants to consider. I actually have a bigger book that I need to go find, but you also have these first aid books that teach you how to treat wounds. So if you're not a medical person, this book kind of tells you what to do for certain situations. So this one here talks about breathing emergency, what to do for burns, electrical burns, cardiac, arrest. So these little books can be handy. Like I said, I also have a bigger book that I just need to find it, unfortunately. But you also want a pair of first aid scissors because you want to be able to cut this tape if you're not strong enough to break it. And then you have burn dressers in case someone gets hurt with fire. You have instant cold packs. And then of course you have, you want to have a pack of gloves. I also have a big box of nitrile gloves that I also keep in the car. This is another bandage that you can wrap stuff with. Also, you can use it as a tourniquet if you need to. And then the rest of this is pretty much just different size Band-Aids. Okay, and then this piece right here is a mouth guard. If you need to give someone mouth to mouth, you just put this over their lips and you blow through this if you have to give someone mouth to mouth for type of first aid. And then the rest of these are just pretty much bandages. And then of course you have your different creams. This one is a burn cream. Then you have antibiotic ointments. This bag, I believe I got, and I labeled it when I bought it, September 2020. I bought this bag off the internet, I believe from Amazon. So it came with everything you saw me pull out of this bag. All of that came in this first aid kit. It was advertised as a first aid kit, but it didn't come in any type of bag. So it just came shipped in a Ziploc, but it had all the necessary equipment in it. And then the last thing you want to consider if you have to get up and go, and that is your personal protection. For those of you who believe in firearms, you may want to consider taking some type of protection with you. And if you do that, don't forget the ammo, because you're going to need ammunition to go with that firearm. And then those who don't necessarily believe in having a firearm, you may want to consider something like a taser, maybe. Something that if the situation in our civilized world gets out of control, you want to have some means of protecting yourself. So that's whether you believe in a firearm or not, or carrying firearms or not, you want to have some means of protecting you and your family. So you might, again, want to consider a pistol or a rifle. And like I said, if you don't like firearms, you might want to consider a taser or or a baseball bat, you know, something that you can use as self-defense to protect you and your family. So with that, since I now keep all of my first aid stuff in here, all of my extra equipment, all of my extra first aid items, I keep in here. So I have different, some of this stuff, a lot of this stuff, actually, I have duplicates of. So I keep a lot of that in here, along with my mosquito netting. And you can also see in here, if I go out, I also have cord in case I need to tie something or string something up. Like this. Also have the calamine lotion. And just think, you can see I have a second packed first aid kit. So this box right now really is just for all of my extra equipment. Everything that's primary, I pretty much keep in this bag. So without further ado, are there any questions?
I know
If
I saw
can,
some in the
I
chat.
just want to show you guys. So we have a lot of the same things, but they're a little different. So with Erica's water filtration, hers is for a family. This one is individual. Same thing. They work the same way. They even have the water bags. They have made straws, so you can just take the straw and just drink. As well as different size radios. Mine's a little older. Does the same thing with the crank. It is a weather radio and it does work. The one thing that I shared with Erica that we didn't mention was the emergency blanket. I found it. This thing works wonders if somebody is just freezing. And so I made sure I had something for everybody within my family.
Mhm.
A lot of the things you guys see that I have, her tool was a lot bigger, mine's a little smaller. This is our Walmart. So keep in mind,
Mhm.
I went to the camping section in Walmart. I even got me a little something if I need to cut something down. Okay, all of this stuff is in the camping section in Walmart.
Mhm.
So you can always go in and just start buying a little bit at a time, as well as she mentioned the matches. This is the case for it, for the stormproof and the waterproof. So I think that's pretty much it. Does anybody have any questions?
I'm in the chat.
Okay. Thank you guys for being so patient.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing us to share what we've been talking about for a little over 2 years. I want to encourage everybody that's in the Zoom to have a group of friends and or family that you can work on this stuff with. The waterproof bag, I purchased a bag for everyone in my family because we may not be together when stuff happens. So all of my children, my mother, they know to keep your bag ready close by.
I have a
Because
question.
we go ahead.
I have my bag.
Okay,
Ready for
are you ready for questions?
Yes.
Yes.
How often do you go back and check your bags as far as expiration dates for things? Is there some point that some notation you have to go check to make sure you replace something?
Well, for me, if something, I try to check mine once a year. For things that don't need to be replaced, like Band-Aids, stuff like that. What I do is when I put it on a Ziploc bag, I label it. And so I'll know when I did it. But a lot of this stuff, like bandages, this type of stuff, it's not gonna expire. But these have expiration dates. So like this expires in August of 22. So this I'll have to replace. And some other items that are perishable, like this one has to be replaced soon. This one expires in 6 of 22. So everything that's going to expire this year, I kind of have a little list that I have of things I need to replace and when. So when these actually expires, I'll just order some more. But yeah, I go through it about once a year.
Once a year. Okay, and another quick question. I noticed that you didn't mention bottled water or any food, or did I miss that?
No.
Is there any kind of food that you would put in these packages?
You can, well, I guess the reason I had not started on food is because most of the civilian freeze-dried food I have found to be very expensive, even at Walmart. So what I have done, unfortunately, that stuff is not the tastiest, is I bought the military MREs that you can get from usually from Army surplus stores or Navy surplus stores. They're definitely a lot cheaper. They're packed with calories. But the ones that I have found on the civilian market, at least locally, have been expensive. Now, I have not done a search on the internet, so there's probably some cheaper. And then as far as water is concerned, I have not really worried about water because I have my water filtration system if I need to get water. And then we also have, we'll have portable water bottles like the one Audrey showed. So if we stop anywhere we can find water, always fill up our personal water bottles if we need to. The other reason I don't do water I'm not carrying water with me is because the water is heavy and it's gonna take up space. So if I'm trying to cram me and the whole family into one vehicle, we gotta get not only all of this stuff in there, but our personal stuff, because we're gonna have to pack clothing, and you're gonna have, if you're gonna take anything important with you, like documents, you might have to go pick up your silver, whatever metals you have. And if it's 4 of you trying to get all of your stuff in one car, it's gonna be a lot. Worst case, if I have it, or if I have the room, I may take one what do you call it, package of water. But the thing is, what are you gonna do when that's gone? You gotta have a way of providing water for yourself, and that's what this is for. That's why I really don't concern myself with the water. If I have the room, I may take some, but if not, I'm not gonna worry about the water.
Okay, thank you.
And for me, on that note, we keep crackers, we keep light things, easy things that you can pull and pack.
Mhm.
So
I was gonna add, just for your emergency pack, if you have to grab and go, if you have the peanut butter crackers, that's a protein and a starch. So you could at least have those, and they don't expire as quickly as most other foods. So just something that you'd be able to check on either every 6 months to a year.
Yeah, that's definitely an idea. And like I said, I've already kind of invested some of the MREs. It's just that I didn't have any extra room in my first aid kit to pack it. But yes, that is something that's definitely worth mentioning, because you got to have sustenance. And the next class, I'm sure Jasmine can find somebody to teach. Will teach you how to survive in the wilderness in case you have to, trapping those sweet little bunnies, or pigeons, or something. When you're talking about survival,
And another
what it
good,
is.
I'm sorry. Another good food to carry would be like beef jerky, because that's sort of dense with some nutrients, and so as well. So lightweight, easy to eat, may not taste the best, but it's a good source.
Very true. I personally hate jerky, which is probably why I did not mention it. But you're right. That is definitely something, because I just don't care for jerky at all.
Oh, someone wants to.
Suggestion is a Sharpie Pin.
what's
Yes.
the mark?
A Sharpie Pin.
Yes.
Yes.
It's waterproof, and if you need to label something, or if you need to write something down, you can do that on your plastic bags.
If I can add to what Erica has shared, Loretta, you were asking, I think that was Loretta, asked about the food. I've been buying charcoal lighter fluid, and then I went to a Christmas event for another job, and they had giveaways, and they had a pop-up pit, and it is the size of this bag, but smaller. And so you could pop it up, use it, and then put it back in. And I got that because I'm thinking going forward. Because if I need to be able to cook something quick, I can cook it in that, not mess up where I am, not leaving the signs of where I am, and keep going. So I have been buying a lot of charcoal and a lot of lighter fluid. So that's something else to think about while we're talking about just having the food and being prepared to feed your family and do what you need to do.
Mhm.
And then someone also asked, what's the name of the portable charger? And I guess, where did you find it?
Amazon. Yeah, this came from Amazon, so I don't remember who the vendor was that I got it from. So basically what I did was
Have the box, so.
yeah, I didn't put mine in the box. So basically what you do is you go on Amazon. If you want this one, just put in portable QI charger, and this will come up.
Mine just a regular cellular cell charger,
Solar.
solar. You said that earlier.
I did.
Yeah. Mine does 3 devices. I think Erica has 2, but you have a flashlight.
Yeah.
Um,
You have a flashlight?
no. Yes, I do. I do have a flashlight. Hello. Teamwork make the dream work. So yeah, we got those out. We got these early off of Amazon.
Yeah, I have about 5 of these, but this is the only one I have that's a QI charger. The other ones are like Audrey's, they are solar, where you can sit them on and let them charge. They each have a flashlight. But the only way to charge is to use the USB port. So I'm actually probably gonna buy a couple of more of these QI chargers, because if for some reason you do get in a hurry and you run out of the house, and you don't bring your phone cables, with this, you don't need it. You just put your phone on here, make sure that it's on. Little lights there, make sure it's on, turn it over, put your phone on top. This holds a charge a pretty good while. I think this one is 26.8 mega amps.
So it will
milliamps.
charge your device at least 3 to 4 times. I tested it.
More than
My
that.
phone and my tablet, depending on how much you need.
Yeah.
It works.
And the other thing I looked at when I picked out a charger, I looked at the amps, because that's also going to determine how many charges you're going to get out of it. I think my smallest device is only 10,000 milliamps, and this one is 26.8 milliamps. And I think I have one that's 30 and another one that's 20. So that's another thing I look for when I bought a portable charger, is how many milliamps it has. Because that's also going to determine how long it's going to hold discharge, and how long or how many different charges you're going to be able to get from it.
All right, now someone also asked, I know that in the beginning on the presentation, you provided them with a list, I believe, on the presentation that you told them to take a screenshot of. They also want to know, is there any way they can get some links to some of these items? But I think most of the items were purchased in person, correct?
Yes.
Get from
Not for
Walmart,
me.
not you, okay.
A lot of the items, the thermometer, the bag, hot and cold pack, I bought online. A lot of it came from either Amazon online. I also bought from Walmart online, without having to go into the store. And this, as you can see, this is a CVS brand. So occasionally I'll go to the pharmacies and troll, because so a lot of times the pharmacy will put different stuff on sale, and it just kind of rotates throughout the store. So whenever I go into a pharmacy, I just kind of stroll through the first aid and section and see if they have anything on sale, and if they do, and if it's something I need or something I need to replace, I'll just pick it up. But everything you see here either came from Amazon, Walmart, or CVS. Because if you notice, the Equate brand, I believe, is Walmart, isn't it? Yeah,
I think so.
isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think,
it is.
yeah, Equate is Walmart. So you can see, like I said, a lot of this stuff that I bought that says Equate, I just ordered from Walmart online. Or like Audrey said, for some of it, you can go to the camping section. I think this is probably the only thing I didn't get from either one of those stores. We picked this up at a gun shop. And then this, of course, was given away by some company that was doing giveaways. And then of course, this I got from T-Mobile. So those are the only few things that didn't come from.
Oh, and the walkie-talkie, where did you find the walkie-talkie?
no,
The
you're right.
3,000.
No, I ordered, I looked at these are on Amazon, but my other place to look for stuff that's cheaper than Amazon is eBay. I got these off eBay. So I just looked, so when I found something I liked on Amazon, a lot of times what I'll do is I compare Amazon to eBay. It depends on who has the better price, and that's where I get it from.
Okay, someone said, what is the brand name of that flashlight/lighter thingy majigga you showed us?
Oh,
What's
this,
the brand?
Boltmar, Boltmar. I actually, this is another one. I got this from when Audrey and I went to a gun show, and we were just going around and looking, because if you go to a gun show, they have other stuff besides guns. And I was actually there that day to pick up some ammo, because those who are gun owners may know that 9mm ammo has been very hard to find, and it's been expensive since COVID. So I was actually looking for ammo, but as I was walking around, I found this, and I was like, oh, that's such a great idea, because you don't have to worry about matches, you don't have to worry about lighters. This thing, as long as it's charged, will work. So actually, I intend on picking up a couple of more of those as well.
And then someone said, can you provide the name or the source actually for the walkie-talkies that have the range of 5,000 kilometers?
That is an Audrey question, because I actually got that information from her. Although I ordered it, I don't remember the name of the website we went to. That is something I'd have to get back to you on.
Hold on, let me look.
All right, so I'm just gonna look that up. While Audrey's looking that up, if there are some other suggestions that people put inside the chat. So someone has said to please take pictures of all of your bank and crypto accounts and handwrite all of your password or codes needed for your financial institutions. I know Audrey mentioned something
Yeah.
about that, keeping that inside of a book and in a safe place,
Absolutely.
along with those passports, I believe. Someone also mentioned you could buy a book on edible plants and have candles in case of grid shutdown. And then I think those were the only two suggestions that
Yeah,
I read.
yeah, lanterns, but I use my flashlight for those, so that's probably why I didn't come up with it.
All right, and I see a hand is raised. Let me see who hand is raised. Oh, I see two hands are raised. All right. Jay put his down. Okay, Beverly, did you have anything you wanted to ask or mention?
I was gonna say, get the flameless candles. They're safer.
All right, thank you for that.
The name, I found the name
All
of
right.
that walkie.
Okay, perfect. She found the name. She's gonna give us the name for the walkie-talkie.
Outdoors with an S hike. Outdoors with an S hike. Those walkies are running
$180 for one.
for one.
Okay, so Audrey, did you say hype, HYPE?
HIKE.
Hike, thank you.
Outdoors with an S hike. HIKE.
Yes. And like I said, I wanted to buy more than one, but until I tested and verified the claim of
The distance.
5,000 kilometers, I'm not gonna spend that kind of money for something that is not gonna be what I paid for. So since someone else also ordered that walkie-talkie, when I go out of town this summer, I'm going to try to arrange with that person to test it, to see if I can actually talk to her from across the country. So we will see. And if they work, then I will go ahead and order the other ones that I think I may need.
All right, and then we have one more hand raised. Easy J.
Yes, Ezra.
Oh.
Yes, Ezra.
Did you have
So
anything?
yeah, so I did want to just jump in. For those who have insurance, you may be able to get some of those first aid supplies taken care of by your insurance company. You can contact them. They may even reimburse you if you have a one of those plans that allows for you to use money. There may be a way for you to kind of offset the costs associated with those situations. But I just want to throw that out there.
Thank you.
Okay. The other thing that I will also add on to the person who mentioned writing stuff down. I think they mentioned passwords and what else? It was passwords and something else.
All your crypto stuff I put.
Yeah, for the bank account information, but for the
Yes.
crypto stuff, this is something that Francis has been telling us. So if you have not done it, you need to do that. Go to all of your crypto accounts and not just write down the passwords, but you need to take screenshots, or if your crypto account allows you to download your transactions, you need to do that. Because if things do go down, you need to have proof of what was in your account. So don't just write down the password, make sure that at least monthly or weekly, depending on how you like to handle your affairs, is to make sure that you are downloading the transactions for all of your wallets or accounts.
And did you want to mention about the meeting place? Or did you already say something?
I did not. Let me share that. I was trying to get to those.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One of the things that I shared with the staff when we were mentioning all of this stuff, and we were so politely voluntold to have this class. For those who know, they know. My family, we have, for years I've done this with my children, is have a code word. And I think that's really important because in the case that you're trying to connect or get separated, you need to be able to communicate without everybody knowing what you're talking about. So with my children, when they were in school, we had a local meeting place. If something were to happen and I needed to pick them up away from the school, we had a code word. So 6 months ago, I went back and I told them again. I said, we need to implement this because our families, they're older, they're grown, and we need to figure out where we're going to meet. So I strongly suggest with the people that are near and dear to you to have that code word or a phrase or a meeting location. Because when things are hectic, everybody's trying to figure out which way to go. But if you can talk in code like everybody else does in front of other people, then you can remain calm and know which direction you're going to have some order. So strongly suggest that. That is very important. My children remembered their last word. We ended up keeping that word and just changing the location. But for them, that made a lot of sense because they still use stuff that I shared with them when they were in school. So.
And then Audrey, I know you were about to pull up some pictures, but also I don't know either of you all can jump in, but I know that you were saying tribe a lot. I know we got a couple of people on here that may not be familiar with some of the classes we do at the center. So I don't know if one of you all wanted to just explain what a tribe was or a little bit about their program.
So Ms. Francis started cash flow, collateral, and leverage classes 2.5 years ago. All right.
Yeah.
2.5 years ago. And that was just to get us prepared to thinking about what could happen in the event that something could happen financially. And so there were classes that were set up. The first class was the initial class toward the end of 2018. And that's the Issachar. We all have tribal names. So we have Issachar, we have Asher, we have Benjamin, Judah, and then we have Manasseh. And in those tribes, we get together, we talk about the economy, we talk about what's going on globally, we talk about signs that we need to look at, we talk about systems, we talk about different things that are happening in the world that we really hadn't paid attention to. So I look at the news a lot different. I listen to a lot of people in the financial area that I have not paid attention to. And it has helped me to understand the importance of making this shift for the fourth term.
Yeah, and we also talk about increasing your financial position. So that's where the silver and the gold comes from as far as what Audrey showed you initially. Because
regardless of whether or not the dollar is devalued, and most of us in our class believe that it is. So at some point, when the dollar has lost all of its purchasing power, you still need to be able to buy stuff and survive. So at the very least, you can take that silver and gold if you have to and turn it into whatever currency you need to purchase whatever or barter for whatever you need. Because the one thing that we are pretty much certain of is that silver and gold will not lose its purchasing power or value over the long term. So you can always take that and sell it or barter with it and get the things that you need. And so we recommend taking an emergency supply if you have to move fast, and keeping that with you along with your cash, because one of the things that Francis has also told us is that you need to have cash on hand at your house, emergency cash, because if for whatever reason you can't get to the bank, you gotta move fast. So if you have to move fast, you don't have time to stop by the bank, or if there's a line out the ATM, like it usually is on Friday, you have cash on hand that you can grab and take with you in case you need to purchase something. And then if you use all your cash and you still need to make purchases or you need something, then that's where you have your emergency medal to continue to get the things that you need.
One other thing I'd like to share, I'm unable to get back in to finish the presentation. I had two different slides I wanted to share. They were just little extras, nothing that you have to buy, but just something to think about. I also was able to pick the Stanley Fat Max. It's a jumper for your car. And with this particular Stanley Fat, F-A-T-M-A-X, it's 350 amps, but they also have charging ports on the top, and it also has the SOS flare. Yeah, they have the SOS on their case somewhere. So in this situation, if you needed to have a way to jump your car and also charge devices, that Stanley device will do all of that. And that was something that we didn't talk about, but I was in another setting. They were giving away gifts. I'm always going for the survival stuff. And most of the men trying to figure out why I'm picking survival stuff, because I want to be able to make it away. So I picked that up, and then one of the guys was like, I needed that for something he was doing, and he had a big truck. And I was like, okay, but it's my choice, my time. But start thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
When you think outside the box, you'll start seeing a lot of things different. And you'll realize that we really have a lot of this stuff already. So in the beginning, I challenged everybody to go through your home and start decluttering and start going through a lot of the stuff you have in your bathroom, a lot of the stuff you have in your garage, a lot of stuff you just have, period, that you haven't touched. And some of these things you'll already have, some things you may need to purchase, but some you're gonna already have. And then just tweak it to where it's convenient for you, your friends, and your family.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I will also bring up, since Audrey mentioned SOS, most of these portable chargers that you buy, in fact, I think every one that I have, including this one, will have the SOS signal on it. So once you turn on the flashlight, as you continue to press buttons, you'll notice you'll have different signals on here. So these also have the SOS lighting on them. And like I said, every one of these that I bought, they all do the same thing. They'll have different lighting modes, including the SOS lighting.
You have any more questions, Chaz?
Let me take a look at the chat. I don't believe so. No, but I definitely said that they said this was some great information. So thank you guys.
Thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your patience once again.
Yeah.
And
They wanted to know, is there any way, the list that you provided, Audrey, is that just the items that you had, or is that a list of all of these items?
that's the list.
Yes, so that, because someone wanted to know about a list from the second presenter. So yes, that initial list that Audrey provided is all of the items that
Well, not necessarily all of the items, because I think what the list said first aid
stuff.
So this is just stuff that I have in my first aid kit. Different first aid kits may have different items. Like a lot of first aid kits, even though some of them have the antiseptic towelettes, I bought this separately. So this whole pack is nothing but alcohol wipes, and I bought 2 of them. So some of the first aid kits, depending on what's in it, you may want to supplement it. Like this, definitely the alcohol wipes. I definitely bought a big box of sterile gloves. That's not going to come in a kit. They may give you 1 or 2 pair.
That's at Sam's.
Yeah,
That's at
and then,
Sam's.
like I said, this kit happened to come with a pair of first aid scissors. But that's pretty much it. And this is a burn dressing. So this has some liquid in it. And again, I'm assuming because of that liquid, this has an expiration date. So all of this stuff, I'm gonna have to go back through and reorder once these dates expire.
And if I can just add this one thing, the reason I wanted us to pull out what she has versus what I have, we're working for the same thing. Keep in mind the person's background. Erica has military. So Erica has a lot of things I don't have. I don't think that way. So when we come together and we work with each other, that helped us to expand the list. So I always think about getting somebody that's, that you're working with that's a little different than you are. Because when we started this, we started with her bag, her green bag, my gray bag. And as we continue with the tribes and the other groups, it expanded because we started thinking, if we have to be gone for some days, how we want to manage. Mm-hmm. So I want to encourage everybody to get with family and friends that you trust. Yep. Get with family and friends that you trust. Because you're going to have your personal information, you're going to have your accounts, you're going to have banking information. You need to know that if anything happens, they're going to take care of you. And my final thought is this: in my family, I have a set of information that I share with y'all in the envelope, and I have a daughter. That's my mini. She got the second set. I need to know I have somebody I can trust to get the information, and we can all be safe. So I just want to encourage you to get with family and friends that you trust. And then you guys may come up with some things different, depending on your skill set, depending on where you are and what your family needs. If you have children, we didn't say anything. I got wipes over here in my wet bag. We didn't say anything if you have children. That's a whole nother bag, from diapers to wipes to milk.
Yeah. So
we just wanted to share with you guys what we have, and we're open to any suggestions. We are always available. Our information is Zan Wesley Homes. The number is 214-324-4443. My email is audrey.brown@ZWHJCOC.org. And you can send that for me and Erica. If you have any questions for either or, I'll make sure she gets that. Didn't really want to put her personal information out there unless you want to add. Send that to me. We forgot something. We forgot something.
What?
In your to-go, your wet bag, you're going to have it in your car though. Make sure you have a jacket and you have a blanket.
Oh, I keep that in the car.
We keep that in the car. A jacket and a blanket. I think all of us kind of keep that though, because we're a little older.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, one last thing I want to mention, unlike Audrey, if you notice, my radio is orange. My portable thing, my portable charger has orange in it, because you can get these all black, you get different colors. And if you notice, my bag is a bright green. And I did that on purpose, because if something happens and you're moving fast and you're dropping stuff and having to go back and pick something up, or if you laid something down and plan to, I can see this. That gray bag, it might get lost in the woods somewhere. And that's the whole purpose, the whole reason I bought this bright green bag. And why my radio is orange, because you can see my radios compared to hers is small. And if I lay this down somewhere, I want to be able to see it and find it.
And
So-
mine camouflage, I can hide it quick.
Yeah, you can hide it. You lose sight of it, you know. So that's why a lot of my stuff you're gonna see with bright colors or orange or black. If I need to hide something and I have a camouflage blanket, I can throw over it. But if I'm trying to find something, I need to be able to see it. So that's the reason why you'll see a lot of my stuff is gonna have the bright colors.
All right, and then also, I know someone said this class is recorded, so we started a little bit after I know it started, so you may have missed a tad bit in the beginning, but we will more than likely put this on our YouTube channel, so that'll be where you can find it. And you want to put the list on the
Well, the
YouTube
list will
channel.
be on there because the presentation was on there.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, so you will also be able to find the list when you go back to look at the presentation on the YouTube channel. You'll be able to also extract the list from that as well, take a picture of it. So that's where you'll be able to find that, and more than likely we'll probably also post this on our Facebook page. So that means I encourage you to follow us on YouTube, as well as follow us on Facebook, so you can learn about all of the new classes that we have coming. Facebook, so that way you can register for those classes. YouTube, so you can see some of those if you're not able to join in person or live on Zoom. I'm going to put the information in the chat box. Just put this in, and that will help you find us on both Instagram and Facebook. This ZWHJCOC is in the chat for everyone. Again, that will help you find our YouTube channel as well as find our Facebook page. And I encourage you to follow us on both of those, because you'll see some great information for past classes as well as upcoming classes. And then also, someone asked about some of the upcoming classes that we have. April the 5th, we have something called Explore the Internet. I think on the 19th, we have a class on resilience. And then of course we have our Juneteenth Economic Forum coming up, and that's always a great time with some great presenters in there. I know we have some things in there about leadership, protecting your legacy through wills and all of that. And then we also have our emerging small business class. So if you are a business owner, or if you know someone that's a business owner, or someone that is looking to start a business, I highly encourage you to go on our website and register for that. It'll be in the same place where you register for today's class, but again, that'll be ZWHJCOC.org. Again, I'll drop that in the chat as well. Go on our website, go to classes, and then you'll be able to register for that. It's a 12-week class, and it has a lot of great stuff in there. There's a cash prize. You get to pitch your idea to actual investors, as well as you get some of your legal fees covered, as well as incorporation fees. And then you also just get some great information from some wonderful experts when it comes to financing. What are some other topics? Business planning, feasibility studies, accounting, business class. So all of those entrepreneurial classes that you need, you will receive those for free on top of being able to access all of that other great stuff that I just mentioned. And then of course we have our low voltage skills training class, a great opportunity for those that may be looking and starting, learning a new trade or skill. Also we have fiber optics with that. Like I said, it's a great industry that's going to be around here for a minute. So without further ado, I'm going to put our website in the chat. I will leave this open for about another minute, so that way you can get that information off of here. I've put Audrey's email inside the chat, as well as I have included our phone number. And if we do not answer, please leave us a voicemail and someone will get back with you. And without further ado, we appreciate you all coming on here today. We genuinely appreciate you sharing your time with us. You all had some great suggestions to add So as Audrey mentioned, it's great. We really hope that this ignited that conversation for you guys, because everyone kit will look different based on the needs of your family, and the needs of your loved ones and the needs of yourself. So this here is just really to ignite the conversation and starting to get you to brainstorming and think about what are those things that you will need if you find yourself in a moment where you're destitute, or that you're in an emergency, or that you have to move fast, because these days are very unpractical. And you just don't know unpredictable, I guess is the better word. And you just don't know what'll happen. But again, thank you. I'm going
Ma'am,
to
are you able to check
stop
for
talking here.
2203 says any of my mail? I had to move down.
Stop the recording.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that was all the questions. Okay. I don't know how to end the recording.